Wild are fully healthy. But when the Wild aren't fielding all of their best players, it's possible that the Stars are as fast or faster than the Wild, in my opinion. That remains to be seen. But they're not slow. Okay, they're not like a Blues team where when I say they got good power, but they're slow as molasses. Not like that. Like the Stars are pretty balanced. They're almost as fast as the Wild, and they are stronger than the Wild. Um, but here's where it gets optimistic. Okay, the Wild's strengths and the Stars' weaknesses might actually play fairly well to each other. Um, the Wild's strength and hope really needs to all rely on Devin Dubnyk. Uh, Very often in the NHL playoffs, you will see a team with a really good goalie or a hot goalie, a goalie that gets really hot at the right time, be able to ride that goalie throughout the playoffs onto winning games and winning series. And that's what the Wild have to rely on their end. Dubnyk has to be superb and hold an extremely good offensive team to one or two goals a game or zero. He can't ever give up more than 2 goals in a game in this series, or I don't think the Wild have any chance of winning that game. Um, and of course, that's not all on him. That's on the rest of his teammates. To play good defense, to have good puck control, to not be turning it over and be sloppy with the puck. To be clearing it out good, to be, just it's not all on him. But he is going to have to do everything. He's going to have his A game, okay, or A plus game, and that is possible. He's good enough, and it happens. He's had a good year. He's been, one of the few bright spots on the team as well for the most part this season, is how well he's played at goalie. And then the other thing that I like is the Stars goalie situation. The Stars do not have a great goalie situation. They've kind of got, like if it was a football, to put it in football terms, they have a goalie by committee. They have a pair of running backs, that they alternate situationally. Like they basically, the Stars have a two goalie kind of format where they've kind of got a number one and a number two, but they don't have a real number one. But it's worked so far for them this year for the most part. However, they have hit a few points throughout the regular season where that was goalie play was a little bit of an issue for them. And if the Wild can just somehow create some turnovers, and play with speed and play smart team hockey with a lot of effort, where they're in the right places at the right time and they're winning the battles for the pucks and things like that, there's a good chance that these Stars goalies can be had. Well, we definitely have the goalie advantage when you look at those two elements here in the series. So that is where you do have a little bit of hope, Wild fans. There is a very realistic scenario of things playing out that has your team coming out winning this series. That being said, we don't have a whole lot to go off of, recently here or moving forward to, believe that that's really actually going to happen. But it could, okay? So, be optimistic in those regards. But now that we've went over the matchup a little bit here, let's get to the actual playoff pictures for the NHL Stanley Cup. Alright, so let's start with my official prediction here that I'm filling out on my Stanley Cup Playoffs Bracket Challenge, which I posted on my Facebook, Scotty Dashball. So please go check that out and fill one out of your own while you're at it. You can pick, the winner of each round and how many games it's going to take. So for that, for the Dallas versus Minnesota, I gotta go with my brain here, over my heart. Even though I will be cheering for Minnesota and really hoping I'm wrong, hoping the goalie situation that I laid out for you actually happens. I am picking the Stars to win this game, but where I am going to step out a little bit is most people are predicting a sweep here in Minnesota, maybe in 5 games. I think the Wild are going to win 2 games in this series at least, maybe even 3. But I'm going with 2 for sure. So I got the Dallas Stars beating the Wild in 6 games, and hopefully those 2 wins get John Torchetti rehired on a 1 to 2 year deal as Wild head coach for next season. I will have the Stars then playing the winner of the St. Louis Blues versus Chicago. Are you kidding me? Is anybody not picking Chicago? The Blues don't win in the first round of the playoffs, and all Chicago does is win in the playoffs. I think Chicago beats the Blues in... Gosh, I want to go 4, but I'd kind of like to give the Blues just a little bit of respect, and I'd kind of like to give Chicago's, lackluster performance the last month or so of the season a little bit of respect as well. So we'll go 5. Blues win 1. Anaheim Ducks taking on the Nashville Predators. We're definitely going Ducks, sticking with that pick to go to the finals like I did in the preseason. They're taking on the Predators. I think Anaheim sweeps that. Yeah, let's go with a sweep there. And then this one's interesting to me. I think this one's a coin flip. The last one out west would be the LA Kings taking on the San Jose Sharks. Kings have the home ice advantage in this one, for whatever 150 miles there is between them or whatever. But I don't know. This one to me is a coin flip. Wouldn't surprise me either one, these winning. I'm going to go with San Jose in this one, and I think they're going to do it but I think it's, let's have that one go 7, just because I think it'd be fun. All right, then let's do the East first round games. We've got the number 1 seed in the whole tournament, the whole playoffs, the Washington Capitals, best record in all of hockey this year. They're taking on the Flyers, and Capitals in 5 or 6, because they always got to make things harder than it should be. Let's go 5. I think if it takes them more than 5, that's a sign that they're still the Capitals and they're going to choke at some point in time. But we're going to ride with them for now. They will be taking on the winner of the Pittsburgh Penguins versus the New York Rangers. Penguins actually ended up with the home ice in that series. It was looking like they were going to be the wild card team there. Or, I shouldn't say the wild card team, the one finishing underneath the Rangers for most of the season. But alas, Penguins have been red hot, and I am going with them to sweep the Rangers. Yeah, why not? Penguins sweep the Rangers. Or it's going to go 7. Yeah, it's either going to be a sweep or it's going to be epic. One of the two. Let's go with that. Then we got the Florida Panthers hosting the New York Islanders. Oh, boy, I do not trust either of these teams. I need some kind of upset somewhere. So let's have the Islanders beating the Panthers, and let's have them do it in 6 on their home ice. And then we're going to have the Lightning beating the Detroit Red Wings. They're hosting, by the way, the Lightning are. And they're going to do that fairly easily. Let's have that be a sweep. And so since that's a sweep, let's change that Pittsburgh-New York Rangers game to that epic 7-game series. We're going to go with, we're going to keep it the sweep. We're going to keep it the sweep. Do I have any 7 games? San Jose and LA Kings. Yeah, we'll go with that. All right. So those are my first round predictions. Second round predictions, I'm going with, Dallas Stars versus Chicago. That's going to be a heck of a series if that happens. It's hard to go against Chicago. No, let's go against Chicago because I don't like Chicago. So there. That's why. That's the only reason why I'm picking Dallas over Chicago in the second round is because I don't like Chicago. I have no real actual intelligent opinion or basis for it. And then kind of same with Anaheim versus San Jose. I picked Anaheim at the beginning of the year, so that's where I'm going. And then, of course, I'm picking Anaheim to get to the finals, as I did at the beginning of the season. I'm picking Washington to do the same, advancing past Pittsburgh for the same reason, and also into the finals. They will take on the winner of the Islanders versus the Lightning, and that will be the Lightning. So you'll have 1 versus 2 seed and 1 versus 1 seed going at it in my predicted. We'll have the Ducks versus the Capitals. Capitals are choke artists, thus for I am picking the Ducks to win it all. Boom. All right, balls on ice. Officially over. Let's get some balls dribble in here, and then we'll squeeze in our balls deep thought of the day. Sorry, football fans. Maybe a quick Pac-Man quickie. Yeah, let's do the Pac-Man quickie right now. Okay, so Manny Pacquiao had a fight last weekend. It was for some title, and he won. The end. Nobody in America cares. You're welcome for even bringing it up in the first place, boxing fans and Manny Pacquiao. All right, moving on. And we find ourselves in Balls Dribble talking NBA basketball at the end of the regular season, and this will segue us into our Balls Deep thought of the day, because that's how we close every show here. And this show will be no exception. Alright, so here on Wednesday in the NBA, pretty much all of the teams, if not all of the teams, are playing their final game of the season. The Minnesota Timberwolves are hosting the New Orleans Pelicans, who have been a disappointment this year. And the T-Wolves will be going for their 30th win of the season, and that would effectively double. Or no, they will be going for their 29th win of the season, excuse me. Still, that would be one shy of doubling their win total from last year. They're taking on the Pelicans, like I said, who they're only 2 games better than the T-Wolves on the season. Record-wise, if you're wondering record-wise for draft lottery balls, the T-Wolves have 1, 2, 3, 4 teams with a word. They're locked in to the 5 spot as far as that's concerned. Win or loss, it doesn't matter. Now, the T-Wolves have been winning. They went on a 3-game win streak here before losing their last game. And I heard a lot of people here in Minnesota talking about how, well, maybe, we don't need to fire Sam Mitchell because the young guys have improved and we are winning some games now towards the end and improving. And all I have to say to that is I'm going to, quote the Admiral. And no, I'm not talking David Robinson. I'm talking Akbar. It's a trap. Don't fall for it, for crying out loud. Please don't fall for it. Wiggins is going on year 3. Okay, LaVine is going on year 3. Cat's going to be going on 2. Big Cat, Rookie of the Month, every month this entire season. Just a phenomenal year. But these guys are going to be, LaVine and Wiggins, in a year or two, they're going to be coming up to needing new contracts. And you need them developed by that point in time, and you can't just, oh my gosh, it's going to be a giant mess if we continue with coaching that is just inept, and that's what Sam Mitchell's coaching is, in my opinion. Yeah, but you got to give Mitchell some credit. No, I give Big Cat credit. Like, if you want to know where those 13 more wins came from, those are a result of Big Cat, not of Sam Mitchell's coaching. As well as Wiggins getting better on his own, LaVine getting better on his own. Like, don't give Mitchell the credit for those guys putting in the work and figuring it out. Like, come on, man. You don't give Mitchell the credit for Rubio being healthy for once. In the world of professional basketball, player development is on the players more than it is the coaching. Team development is on the coaching. Okay? And that is what the Timberwolves need. They don't have that. And if they don't get that within the next year or 2 at the absolute latest, you're going to miss out on this, amazing young core of talent that you've got. And you're going to lose a piece, and you're going to underachieve, and you're going to lose 2 of the pieces, and you can't miss on this opportunity if you're the Teals. You got to make the most of it with this core that you've got right now. And I don't feel that can be done with Sam Mitchell. My vote is cast. Okay, so most people would say that, well, who's better? Who to replace him? And the hot name is Tom Thibodeau. I'm not big on Thibodeau personally with this squad, although I do think that from a fact that we're terrible on defense and he's known as a great defensive coach. I mean, that side of it makes sense, but I don't like the way he runs his players into the ground in the past. I don't want to see any of our young guys, get injured and derail their careers because you got a, work crazy mentality head coach at the helm. That